Hello, YouTube family. This episode is about the Biden coronavirus stimulus package. As I'm sure anybody watching this realizes, Joe Biden proposed, after he was sworn in, a $1.9 trillion coronavirus stimulus package. The package includes a lot of things during the campaign and certainly during the Senate runoffs in Georgia. Joe Biden had promised $2,000 direct payments to individuals, and Republicans had previously, when they had control of Congress, of the Senate, they had managed to get a $600 payment put out. And now that Joe Biden's put his package together, his direct payment is $1,400, so that when added to the $600 people had received earlier in the year prior to his inauguration, it equals $2,000. To him, that's the position, to say that you will get $2,000 both payments combined. But the stimulus includes a lot of other things. It includes funding to states. It includes funding to schools to help schools prepare to reopen, even with coronavirus still a thing. Schools need money. They need to upgrade their ventilation systems. They need to be able to adapt to the coronavirus still going on while they start in-person school. There's funding for a lot of different things. More funding for the vaccine. Republicans, in an attempt to change Biden's trajectory, put together a $600 billion stimulus bill that basically guts everything Biden was trying to do in his bill. There's no funding for states. I don't believe, any funding for schools. There's no funding to upgrade schools to prepare to reopen with the coronavirus. The federal government kick in for the unemployment is shortened. I believe Biden's went all the way to the end of the fiscal year in September. The Republicans' plan had it phasing out in around June. And it's just a very, very, very watered down version of what Biden put together. I mean, let's face it, Biden's plan is $1.9 trillion. What the Republicans proposed was $1.3 trillion less. Biden had a call this week with the congressional Democrats. He seems to be pushing to carry out the voting on the stimulus and pushing it through the Senate, through the reconciliation process, if they can't get Republicans to agree to it. The good thing with that is Biden's not wanting to just wait and negotiate, because the thing is, Republicans don't want Biden to have success. That's just the way it works in politics. If a Democrat's president, Republicans don't want them to have success. And vice versa, if a Republican's president, Democrats don't want that person to have success. Although, if there was a Republican president who was pushing policies that Democrats agreed with, I honestly believe they would go along with it. I mean, I don't see any way they would not. I mean, that's the difference between one of the differences between the two parties. If it's issues Democrats care about, they certainly will work with a Republican president. And as far as I can see, the only issue Republicans in Congress care about is tax cuts for wealthy people and corporations. That's the only thing that gets them out of the bed in the mornings, it seems like. But Biden discussed the stimulus plan with the two senators from his home state of Delaware. They had indicated that Biden seemed okay with more targeted direct payments. Part of the thing with Biden's stimulus is the direct payments, the $1,400 being paid out to individuals who made $75,000 or less, families who made around, I think, $150,000 or less, or couples who earned $150,000 or less. And you have Republicans who didn't want direct payments. There's Republicans who have never supported direct payments. And you have, critically, two Democrats, Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona, who both have opposed direct payments. Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema basically are Republicans who run for office with a D by their name. I don't know why they bothered being Democrats at all. They're basically moderate Republicans. They're not even moderate. I mean, the news media calls them moderate Democrats. They're nowhere close to being a moderate Democrat. They are very right-wing Democrats. They're Republicans who are moderately left of the bulk of the Republican Party, probably. And that's going easy on them. They may not be moderately left. They may just be completely right-wing, just shy of Crazy Town where Marjorie Taylor Greene is at. Republicans are threatening to fight on other policy issues if the Democrats continue without a bipartisan agreement on the stimulus. That threat by Republicans means nothing. Republicans are going to fight tooth and nail on everything Democrats are trying to do. I mean, Democrats right now technically have control of the Senate because it's a 50-50 split, and the Vice President Kamala Harris makes the tie-breaking vote, so technically Democrats have the House. And they just agreed today on a power-sharing agreement between McConnell, the outgoing leader, and Chuck Schumer, the incoming leader, just today. I mean, Republicans, because Democrats have the presidency, Republicans are going to drag their feet on anything Democrats try to do in a bipartisan way. They're going to try and slow everything down, and some things they would just flat out try and stop. They're not going to play ball. Republicans are not worried about you. They're not worried about me. They're not worried about the average person or the country. They're worried about staying in office. They're worrying about re-election. They're worrying about raising money. That's why the only thing they seem to care about are tax cuts for billionaires and corporations. That's their sole focus in Congress. And some people might say, well, Democrats have the same focus. No, there are Democrats in Congress who want to effectively make positive change. There are some Democrats, yes, that are the same way. They want to help their wealthy donors, whether it's wealthy billionaires or corporations, but there are Democrats trying to make positive policy changes, particularly now, while we have so many crises going on at once with the economic downturn, the coronavirus, the fact that we're facing a potential housing market collapse because of all of the people who are in danger of eviction. I just read today there was a Republican in Congress who, in his home state of Oklahoma, he owns rental properties, and he's already been filing paperwork to evict people who are behind on their rent. And that's one of the things that this coronavirus stimulus helps. It helps with, it extends the rent moratorium, so you can't be kicked out just because you can't pay your rent. The unemployment rate is still ridiculously high. There are jobs that went away that still haven't come back. There are businesses that still haven't reopened. I mean, even here where I'm at in Vegas, there are businesses that closed during the pandemic. They haven't reopened because the customers aren't there. And that's one of the things I don't get with so many people arguing that businesses just need to reopen. If businesses just reopen, everything will be okay. No, it won't be okay. In order for their business to reopen and make money, one, people have to have money to spend at the business. Two, they have to feel like it's safe for them to go and spend money at the business. And people will talk about Walmart. People still go to Walmart. Of course they do. They got to buy food. They got to buy food, water, whatever they're buying at Walmart. That's not going to stop just because there's a pandemic. And some people don't care. I mean, you have the right-wing people who are the anti-maskers who have been bitching and moaning and whining this whole time about stay-at-home orders or having to wear a mask or you can't come into this business unless you have a mask on. It's insane. And Biden has indicated he wants to work with Republicans. Republicans seem to be trying to impress it on Biden that we don't want to work with you. The only way you get to work with us is if you let us do what we want, and then we'll let you sign the bills. You know, we pass bills, you sign them. That's how you get to work with us. If you want us to negotiate with you, it's not happening. We're not going to help you be successful because we want to kick you, Kamala Harris, whoever's running in 2024, out of office. So hopefully Democrats will get their act together and will end up just doing it with a filibuster so they can pass legislation. Because if Democrats do not do that, then most likely they're losing control of the Senate in 2022. Certainly by 2024. People aren't going to just keep voting for Democrats if they sit around and let Republicans play these games with them. It's not going to happen. They're not going to keep getting reelected if they show no ability to get anything done. And in the current political climate, in order to get something done, you have to have control of both houses. The threat of the Republicans is, if you do away with the filibuster, then when we get control of the Senate, we will also. Which Republicans have been obstructionists the whole time they've had any amount of power in Congress. So yeah, I mean, like I said before, it's no big change. Republicans were threatening to fight Democrats if they don't come up with a bipartisan stimulus plan. We're going to fight you on other issues. They're going to fight on other issues no matter what you do. So just do it. Get the plan done. Help people. Help fix the economy. Help get rid of coronavirus. Help schools reopen safely. Do what needs to be done. Stop playing games with the Republican Party, because that's all they're doing is playing games. Dragging their feet and playing games. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and have a good day.